Mattress Firm used to be Sleepy's, and Sleepy's was in existence until, since like 1952. I believe that's the date. I just remember they were in business for many, many years. In fact, I actually had a Sleepy's mattress. And when I was made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment in 2011 with my mom and aunt's phone lines cut in Jacksonville, Florida, so that, I heard the disconnect jingle. With all of that and a million other forms, that, tons of weird, bizarre, like crazy making harassment. In addition to that, my bed would shake in the morning, just okay, anyway, in addition to that, I would wake up with the sensation that my bed was shaking. So there were a million things going on that scared the shit out of me. I'm so not kidding. And I almost cut my mattress open to see, like, was there something built in the mattress that went along with what like, I had the mattress for maybe 3 or 4 years leading up to that, to the 2011 world being turned upside down situation. And I thought about doing that, but I didn't have enough money to get a new mattress, and I didn't want to totally ruin my mattress, or box spring for that matter. And I wouldn't have known which one. Like, could they have inserted something in the factory, and then when they were ready to sort of do this thing, because I feel like I was set up, like orchestrated series of orchestrated events, and it's like, would they just activate some sort of baffle or whatever, sort of like a hotel bed? It felt like that, like you would put coins in a cheap Las Vegas bed and it would just sort of shake. I was in the basement looking at the ceiling because I was in an apartment just above a basement, a first floor apartment in a row home turned to apartment, 66 South 19th Street, apartment 1F. Looks totally different now if you look it up online. They've modernized it, maybe for the tourism industry. But it didn't look that modern when I was there. It was a little bit less desirable per se. But anyway, no laundry. He put laundry in later in the basement, but for the first year there was no laundry. So this light's been out for like over 24 or 48 hours here at the Target. Anyway, I went through a million things because I was like, it feels like my bed's shaking. I looked things up online, like what would cause a bed to shake, or can you buy beds that shake? Like, what is it? And it would do that for a while. I got kind of used to it. It sort of settled down, and then all of a sudden there was a resurgence of the bed shaking when Biden threw his hat into the ring along with Hillary Clinton for the Democratic ticket against Trump back in 2016. Of course, he would not win out on that, and Hillary went on to win the primary. I guess he didn't really, he took his hat back out. I guess he was in and out. So anyway, in 2016 or 17, all the Sleepies turned to Mattress Firm, and it went, documented, duly noted. I was well aware of it. In fact, I had a client who lived in the neighborhood back then in the Cosmopolitan, and I walked his dog up to Chestnut Street, and right across from the old Sleepies before it turned to Mattress Firm, this, German Shepherd took a big dump. And I was like, well, that's how he feels about Mattress Firm. But directly across from Mattress Firm was also a fire standpipe in the ground. So this dog, Aida was his name, or her name, I guess, actually took a huge dump in front of a fire standpipe, not a fire hydrant. It was more like a standpipe that comes up out of the ground against a wall. And go to Chestnut. Oh, we're on Chestnut. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was interesting that he took a huge dump there, as if someone was trying to say something and using a dog to say it. So anyway, a little history there, and wherever you drive around the United States, you see Mattress Firm next to Smoothie Kings and stuff like that. But it used to be Sleepy's. So, okay. El Rey, like Lana Del Rey, but it's El Rey. It's a Steven Starr restaurant. He has like 7, 6, 7, 5. Who knows? After the pandemic, a few might have closed up. So, but that's the Mattress Firm story and the Sleepies. What happened to Sleepies? What's going on with Firm? On a million occasions, I thought, like, should I, like, I tried to figure out, like, who would I contact other than I contacted the police the first night that I was scared and made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment. I believed it was last night of my life. It was like very, very, we were talking 1,000,000%. My entire body went limp. I was convulsing in fear. My hand couldn't hold. I had a little tiny Palm smartphone, and it was the first time I had a smartphone in my entire life. And I'd only had it for a few months. But anyway, that's that. So a million times I'm like, should I contact this person? Should I contact that person? And I would reach out here and there, but everything fell on deaf ears, or it just seemed like to fall flat. And it was like, I already know if you could call police, they could cut up your mattress and do a search of your mattress, but then you'd be out of mattress and they're not going to pay for anything. It's like, how do you know what to do when you have something weird to report? And I have a million weird things that have happened in my case since. And when you're overwhelmed with a million bizarro things, it's like, well, how do you really... that's what I was told to do. So, is he supposed to represent someone I know from past, present, future? Anyway, point being, if you are overwhelmed with activity, harassment, bizarro things that can't easily be proven, on top of a mentality of what is it, and it's so crazy that, if only a few small, like lower level people should be held accountable, that doesn't fix a problem. Like this thing is massive, and it's hard to believe or understand unless you were to actually go through it, or if you're part of groups of people who are used to seeing people kill themselves or flip out or whatever, and you're like, well, she hasn't really done that aside from a few angry moments on the street. Way back in 2006, I guess 17ish, 16, 17, whatever. I had a few moments, but I was kept running around the city like crazy, making sure that they didn't win per se, but I was tortured. There's no doubt about it. So, all right, so we're heading west here on Chestnut Street. I started at 17th, so I'm about to cross 22nd. It gets